around, and there's lots.
Really?
Yeah, you can do, because we're up against hog roasts, French cuisine, the whole lot, all sorts. Funnily enough, in this area, there, because I set up some years ago, there's a guy in East Grinstead who's set up called Raging Bull Paella.
Oh,
So,
is he
yeah.
stealing your? Well, he wouldn't really steal your.
He may do. I don't know. We don't come across him. He works in the market that I said I don't work in, which is doing events, public events and stuff like that. And he only does it in the summer.
Job's not very good anymore.
But in the southeast corner, there's about half a dozen Paella catering businesses that I would say were of any note and reputation. I don't know how big they are necessarily. They tend to be slightly smaller than us. They tend to be sort of husband and wife teams. We're a bit bigger than that. Any other questions?
What's the highest amount of money you brought in a month?
I think our record month was about £68,000 in one month. Yeah.
That is a lot of rice.
That is a lot of rice. And we're generous. We allow 100 grams of rice per person. Yeah. So if you think about it,
100 little things of rice.
Yeah.
That's not a lot, is it?
100 grams? Yeah, 100 grams of rice.
Well, 100
That is quite a lot.
100 grams.
Oh, I thought 100
pieces of rice.
I'd have 100 grams.
Having 100
Sorry.
So you earn like £68. So if you take away, so if you add on the taxes, the wages, and like the price, what would you?
Okay, so you're talking about how we structure. So we work on the basis that we're trying to aim for a gross margin. Okay. So basically the way we work. So if we sold a party for £100, okay, we want every £100 £65 to be profit. That's the plan. Okay. So £35 is cost. So that cost for that event is the food, all the staffing, and all the costs associated with putting that event on. So that will be fuel to get there, that will be tolls if we cross the QE2 bridge or go through Dartford Crossing, yeah, all that sort of stuff. If we go into London, yeah, and we parking charges, everything comes out of that 35 quid. That's the aim. That's the plan.
Does that work
Quite
most of the
work
time?
Sorry?
Does it work most of the time?
Most businesses will have a target margin they'll work to, and they measure the success of their business roughly how much you get there. We average around 55% gross margin. So one of my tasks as the owner of the business is to try and find how I can stamp out some of those costs that come into the business.
Do you think it's worth travelling around the country to these various events for? Is it worth what you do? Like, is the travelling worth what you get at the end?
A good question. Yes and no. Sometimes it isn't.
Sometimes is it like a good time for you as well?
All the parties, the team that work for me love the parties, they love the events. They don't feel like they're working sometimes. It is bloody hard work. But to answer your question, when we talk to the customer, if they're ringing us saying I'm in Oxford or Cambridge, we will say straight up front, you realise that it's going to cost us more or cost you more in order to get there, and that we will factor that into the price, and therefore when we give you the price, bear that in mind. And I've had customers say, actually we were almost double the price of a local vendor and they chose us. I had a doctor last year, Dr. Tweedy his name was. He chose us because we were more professional. We gave him absolutely everything he wanted in terms of crystal clear, unambiguous, comprehensive quote. And we talked to him all about the quality issues and everything else and the logistics of setting up in his garden. And we showed care and consideration in what we do. So he went, yeah. And he said, I'm happy to pay that extra money. And bear in mind that that was all factored into that 65% margin. That makes good business sense to us. It means we have to sit in the van for 2 hours, drive all the way up there, do work our magic, and then sit in the van for 2 hours on the way back. So it's quite a tough call. But yeah, and the guys that do those events, they get paid for it. They get paid well. You had a question, sorry?
Oh, I don't worry.
You've got it.
Yeah.
Are there any skills that you had to buy in early on in setting it all up, Nick, or technically, or
Yes.
financially, or?
The main thing has been the website, which is not there anymore. Because I'm not a web designer. You can, if you want to, do all your own web stuff. But my background is in sales. I've got a background in sales and marketing. That's my skills. I'm very good at talking to people. I wouldn't be standing here now if I wasn't. And one of the things that you have to have as a salesman is 2 ears, 1 mouth, and you use them in that order. So it's more about listening than it is actually talking. Buying in skills, you've got to know what you're good at. I mean, it's like, for example, if you're going to go home, if you're going to buy a house and you're going to decorate it and redecorate the room and you're going to strip out all the electrics, no way in the world would I want to play around with the electrics. It's too important. So I'll get someone specialist to do that. Same with the website. I know what I want. I can specify what I want, and I can get it made to my order. In fact, we've got a new website coming. So the website will come out probably end of November, early part of December. So it'll be a slight revamp in the look and feel. Hopefully that the idea is to take us up to another level.
Nice.
Do you have an office that you work from?
It's an interesting, yes, we have an office of sorts. We're working up at Turners Hill. We're based at Turners Hill on Fen Place Farm, just along from Alexander House Hotel. And our little business unit, is an old stable block. So it's quite a quirky, you've seen it too, haven't you?
Very nice.
It's quite a quirky little operation. And out of that, we have, that's where we produce all the events.
I drive past that quite a lot.
Yeah?
When you charge people for stuff, do you charge them before or after the event, or do you get a deposit then get the full amount after?
We do. So if you came to me for a party, I would, and it was £1,000. If your party's within the next 6 months, I'll say, I'd like a deposit off you, please, 50%. And so I want you to give me £500. So you give me £500. I say, thank you very much, that's great. That locks you in. We plan all our resources around that. So you've got that date, we know exactly what's going to happen. And then about a week, 10 days before your party, we're going to ring you up. Before you've even had the party, we're going to say, we'd like the other £500 now, please. Thank you very much. And 99% of the time, most people will say, that's fine. Those are our terms and conditions. But they can negotiate, so we can negotiate.
Have you ever had any issues with someone paying, like they've not paid and you've waited and waited and waited
Yes.
and they're still not paying?
Quite a lot. Mainly with businesses. The big corporate businesses. So last year we did an event for a company called Coty, which is a fragrance. Girls, do you know the Coty brand? They own lots of different brands. Okay, they're a big corporate company. They own lots of brands. Go and have a look at them. C-O-T-Y, Coty. Okay, you'll see loads of things. They probably own something like Joe Malone or something like that. Anyway, they have an office in Wimbledon with some 300-400 people in there, and they asked us to cook paella for them. And their terms, because they're a big multinational corporate global brand, we said our terms are 50% up front. And they said, yeah, we can do that. And we said we want 50% on delivery. And they said, we can't do that bit. So I said, well, what can you do? He said, oh, well, we can do it on 30 days. I said, all right, fine. Let's do it on 30 days. So that was the deal we struck. And we had to go through filling out tons of forms and signing on and being authorised as a supplier. And we did that, and the buggers took 90 days to pay us. And I was literally having to ring them up and get really quite cross down the phone, saying, you're taking the what's it, the Michael. I'm not going to use the word, but yes, they were doing that as well. Yeah, so they do. So, and companies will. And that, to my mind, that's bad business. So next time, I won't do
I've
that.
ever had it where people have like started kicking off a bit.
At any of the parties we do? No, never. All the parties we do are really good fun. They get.
No, I mean like when they don't want to pay and stuff like.
Who's your main competition?
It's my main competition.
Have you ever had like someone that comes to you and has a meeting and says, oh well, we might go off, and then they've gone off and booked someone else?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, they do.
Overall, do you like your job as it is?
Sorry?
Do you like your job as it is?
Do I like my job as it is? I really don't want to go back to that IT sales life working for someone else in a big corporate faceless company.
What did you get more money in? Paella or the IT business?
The IT,
Paella.
the IT, no, the IT business. But longer
But
term,
you
I hope to
enjoy
build the
more
business up.
Paella. He enjoys the
Not
Paella
really.
more.
I swapped
All-time
one set
catering
of
will always be the best.
one set of stresses for another. Yeah. Whereas a salesman, you are targeted to bring money in,
Actually,
and you're under pressure to perform month in, month out. That's not a very nice pressure. But now running your own business, there's a whole host of things.
I think one more question, Jack, and then we're done.
How much is your business currently worth?
Oh,
How much is the business currently worth? Well, it's only worth as much as as anyone is prepared to pay for
Google
it.
it, Jack, Google it.
I'll give you 20p for it.
Yeah, I don't think you get anything for that.
And if you want to like, say something
It's not like all-time
Yes.
catering will always be the best.
Probably not.
And the camera's gone off.